Good morning, beautiful people. A beautiful morning in a world of a million incredible wonders. Trust me, I counted. You know what I mean. How soft am I? Sitting in a different space today. Not sure this works. I'm looking at over a million surely green leaves. Oh, probably not that many. But if I count the grass blades of grass as well, then yeah, it adds up. I am looking without the grass at a lot of leaves, and each one of them is a wonder. Each one of them is a miracle. And as I say, this beautiful dark red tree outside is waving at me. Yes, good morning. I see you. Namaste. You got your roots deep in the earth, and you're talking to whom? Hotline to China, or to India, or to Australia, through the earth. A friend of mine always tells me this thing, I forget exactly what it is. In one handful of earth, soil, forest soil, I think, there's more life forms or something in there, or life, than the whole of humanity on this planet, or something like that. It's an incredible amount of life on this planet, and we are living here together. And I don't know that they need us. We're just an extra, but we sure need them. Remove everything non-human from the human body and the body dies immediately. Half of our cells are not human, but they're of the earth. I mean, really consider that for a little bit of humble pie. And when we think, we tend to think, for example, or feel, where we tend to think that's us thinking and feeling. If half of my body is not even human, who is doing the thinking and the feeling? Just you can tune into the earth by just tuning into your own body. It's all made out of what we consider earth. Everything is alive in some other way. It may not be a biological life form in the way we define life, scientifically speaking. It has to have metabolism, it has to have reproductivity of some sort, and it has to maybe have some kind of ability to respond to stimulus. Oh, excuse me, it's too early for me. And not too early to be awake, but too early to not be yawning all over the show. I should move a lot more before I sit down to do this chit chat. Anyway, everything. There's, I mean, if we take the life form soul, does it reproduce? Does a soul respond to stimuli? We don't know. Does it have a metabolism? is information digestion, ingestion, exgestion. Is that, can we call it metabolism? Do we metabolize? Does that refer only to food? And what do we define to be food? I think the day of easy definitions is over. The days of easy definitions are over. It's like everything was cut and dry and straightforward. Now it's like, okay, wait, if you change your direction just a little bit, if you change the way the light hits that thing just a little bit, you change it, the picture changes. Like, you know, those postcards that have this sort of ripply surface, and when you tilt them, there's two different images in there. In the one image, she's wearing a bikini, in the next one, she's naked. Yeah, of course. In the one, it's a dog, and the next, it's a dolphin, whatever. You know, in the one, he's, I don't know, shoveling a hole, and the next, he's buried himself. I don't know. It's like, oh, it's funny little two picture stories we're telling. I'm covering 2 days again. Yesterday I just did not get around to doing an episode. Yellow star, crystal star, guided by the sun. Is always going to get a from me. And then today, cosmic moon, guided by the skywalker, guided by the explorer. The flow and feeling and universal water and purification, guided by wakefully exploring space. And yesterday, art, beauty, elegance, guided by universal fire, enlightened life. In the wave spell of sorry, distracted. In the wave spell of red earth, navigate, evolve, synchronicity. Oh man, I made the most delicious coffee. There's coffee in there. There's a blend of soy and oat milk. I don't like soy milk in coffee. Then there's a teaspoon of shea butter in there and a teaspoon of coconut oil and a pinch of cinnamon, and the whole thing wisped. And it's like, oh. Woo! I must be alive. I'm having a response to my metabolism, which starts in my taste buds. Maybe it starts in my imagination. Oh, goosebumps. Whoa, I'm tired today. I am should not be making I am statements. Didn't I decide that at some point? Watch the I am statements, Tatiana. I am that I am. Tired is not a word I want to have there. I can occasionally feel tired, that's fine. I sleep very well, that's all good. But I don't want to be tired. I am in joy. I am deeply satisfied. I am creatively churning out mantras that, or affirmations that I am liking very much. I am wonderful. I am magnificent. I am beholding a world that reflects, I cannot say nothing but beauty and magnificence. It does have its patches, but that's as it should be. I ride through Berlin on the train, and I swear it's like I'm looking at a jungle and this city is just sitting in it. It's incredible. The trees surrounding the buildings are so tall and so spring green and so beautiful and tolerating us over here. We're allowed to be here. They're so proud and so strong and so humble at the same time. I mean, you cannot use these attributes with a tree, but they're just earth in her magnificence. She will grow into a building without seemingly any effort. A little root will grow through a tarmac street. There's a force in there. There's a strength in the seed and the seedling that do we understand that in our Western way of thinking? We ought to understand everything. I count myself in. Like, what driving force? And is that not metabolism? If the trees, aren't we looking at the digestive system of the earth? This nature, if we stopped living here in a couple of years, all these buildings would just be crumbling to dust. What would be left of it in 100 years? You'd still see a lot. In 1,000 years, you'd see a bit. In 10,000 years, not much. Would a future generation understand this drainage, rain drain pipes? Would they know what they're looking at when they're looking at the rubble of our buildings? And what do we have to show for it? Photographs. Nowadays, almost exclusively digital. If this world disappears, it disappears entirely. There are no big stone monuments that will survive. Nothing to tell of this civilization. A pan in the flesh. And that's as it should be. Some people are like to be leaving something behind for generations to come. For some people that matters. And when I was young, I was influenced by the current of the world I lived in. And I also wanted a grave, I wanted a tomb, a big tomb. Of course I was a goth. Of course I wanted a tomb. But I also thought it mattered what I left behind, that I left some kind of footprint, that generations in the future remember me. And of course part of the current had a kind of like panic that, oh God, what if nobody remembers me? What if my life is completely forgotten? What if nothing? And now it's like, please don't nobody remember me. Forget me entirely. I have no need for that. I mean, I personally have no need for that. What would it matter to me whether you remember me? I mean, to me it doesn't make any sense. I live my life and I enjoy it the next moment. I don't need to remember what I enjoyed 5 minutes ago because I'm enjoying this moment. And so it will always be, I suppose. Okay, I'm doing a bit of an unfocused chit-chat. Am I enjoying it? Yeah. As there are thoughts in my head for a second, what are you thinking about this? I don't need to listen to this. My goodness, I need some information. Oh, yeah. Oh, I mean, aren't we blessed to be living in this world? Is it a blessing or a curse? It's very, very interesting. All of us with the internet can draw for ourselves to listen to, whether it's music or YouTube, podcasts, whatever we're listening to. We press play and we press stop. We can fast forward. It's not even like the radio. You can't control what's playing on the radio. You can't skip the song if you don't like it. With the internet, you tune like, you become like a, I think we become like a laser. The minute something is even remotely, slightly uninteresting, skip it. Are we losing the ability to be bored? Because we no longer need to be bored. We no longer need to wait it out. If I listen to Spotify and it serves me music according to my taste, which I absolutely adore, any one song that I even slightly like, I just skip it. I maybe it would be a good idea if I listened to a little bit of a song in between, and then enjoyed the more hitting the mark beat again. On the other hand, if I listen to the song, Spotify learns that that's also something I like. So, but I mean, just to think about it. Those of us who are old enough to remember to be born before the age of the computer, or just about in that time, definitely before the age of any iPods and iPads and smartphones, before the age of this internet everywhere, I consider that to be so privileged. I am so happy about that. I cannot imagine, of course, living in a world where I do not know that world, where I'm born with a smartphone, my mother looking at a smartphone while she's giving birth to me. The first thing my eyes see is a smartphone staring at me, photographing me, and then my whole life being documented and shared on social media. I cannot imagine that. Is that is that the freedom? Is that freedom? I don't know. Yeah. It's a really interesting time. So it's like, the younger generations definitely think nothing of sharing and posting anything seemingly. And is that their art? Is that their way of expressing their own art, their own whatever they do? Make silly jokes, make good jokes, do silly dances, make good dances, learn along the way, grow online, displaying their whole life online, and then experiencing everyone's life online. Who's ever, it's very interesting to tune into that. What does the inner life look like? What's happening inside there? And this is our evolution. This is a part of our collective evolution. And none of us can really say, well, no, it has nothing to do with me. I didn't call this in. Yeah, we all did. We all did. In one or other way. And for some of us, what we call in is yet to come. But it has to go through this stage. So we may curse the stage and think this is really awful. Anything, like politics, anything. And we don't realize that, yeah, but what you're calling in, what you're wanting, what you're creating will come through this channel. It needs to experience this first, because it will be born from this, or it will be a great grandchild of this. So you may want to, at all times, remember to apply wisdom and patience and trust. I don't think we can live well on this planet if we don't trust each other. if we don't trust ourselves. If we're living, if we've got we've got the blue night, the center stage, the blue night in this wave spell, abundance, dream time, intuition, the fullness of everything that is possible, all potentialities. It's on tone 7, resonant. Tone 7 represents somehow positioned on the neck, throat chakra. It may have a lot to do with what we say and the power of the word we all know about, right? It's also resonant, so our evolution, individually and collectively. But let's talk individually. We have to tune. It's like the blue night is like a radio, like the internet. It broadcasts everything. Everything is there. You have to tune the dial. You have to choose what your intuition will tune into, what life will serve you. These are choices we make. And we have to understand what are the choices we're making if we're getting what we believe we haven't chosen. And sometimes we have to look far back. Sometimes we have to look deep within. Sometimes we have to look at other generations before us. What have they lived? What have we inherited? Now you can say, but I didn't choose what I inherited. Maybe not. But at some point, you get to choose to see what you inherited, to investigate, and then to say, well, I don't want this. I want this instead. And then choose that. And then have the wisdom and the patience to know that it may take some time for your new choice to take effect, because things have lol. ADHD. I was about to tell you about something else here. I'm observing, and we have, always free choice, and to understand, to really understand how this choice making works. And including the power of the word, the power of faith. For me, as the magnetic sun, I will always underline and stress and look at everything through that lens. There's not any other way for me to be. I look through the lens of consciousness. Faith. Red dragon is my medicine, my occult power. Nurturing life. And primal trust without it, there's not, you're just like you're stuffed. I don't know, it's just, life is hard without it. Then you have to do it all yourself. Then you have to rely on coincidence perhaps, or on a very, 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 very extremely limited, tiny, tiny, tiny power that a human has to influence life. But through faith and spirit and all of that, you have access to the power that creates worlds. Infinite. Blue night. Yes. For me, I will always talk transformation, because blue storm's my best friend. And I will always talk love, because dog is my antipode. And I will always talk life and consciousness and passion, because I'm triple sunned. And hard for me to look through anything any different way, but to understand my own wave spell, it makes me understand everything about me. I understand why I talk a lot, why I talk spirit a lot. I've got wind on 3. I've got dragon on too, lunar dragon. If my faith does not work, if I don't nurture, I become a cold, hard, unkind, unnurturing. I lose faith, I lose my footing, I lose my light. If that doesn't work, if I don't nurture others, I lose my purpose of being here. And if I lose my purpose, I just become a cold, dark planet, no longer a radiant, life-giving sun. I have the night on 4, which means understand. For me, it's like, yeah, the abundance, that's part of life. I don't need to work on that. That's just there. It's just there. I can block myself from it, and I do, but in other ways I totally don't. So, and there on it goes. And today we have the cosmic moon. I can look in my own wave spell. Where's the moon in my wave spell? And then overlap that meaning. What does this cosmic moon in the navigation wave spell in the evolution, the cosmic moon? All of evolution evolves towards it evolves through flow. It flows. Everything is flow. When you watch how plants grow, it's flow. They flow. They flow. Life flows into the form. It's a flow, and it's a flow grow. It's a grow flow. And the same with us. And we're doing this grow flowing until our very last breath. And yet they're telling us that at a certain age, things don't grow like they used to anymore. Or they do a back turn, or I don't know, whatever. I'm thinking, like, can we change that story? That's stupid. That's not really fit for a creator being to tell itself that story and to live that story. The return to the diaper, I don't think so. You know, I take up issue with that. You know, I'm always on about that. It's yeah, of course, valid choice, whatever, you know, but I just think our human potential, if we're going to, like, this 80 years short lives, it's like, what is that? A flash in the pan. I love that expression all of a sudden. I never use it. A flash in the pan. I love it. I don't know why. It's like a storm in a coffee cup. Cute. It's just cute. We can live a very, very long time and keep flowing, growing. If we can, if we can, and we can surely learn, we can surely evolve that version of humanity. In my wave spell, cosmic last tone is yellow human. So if I lay the two wave spells on top of each other, the 13th tone, evolving the flow of the human, and the human and the moon are in each other's kin signature. It's the occult. They're occult to each other. And then this moon is guided by the Skywalker, the explorer, exploring space. And any space. I truly appreciate the English word space in this case, meaning like both space, physical space, outer space, inner space, thoughtscapes, emotional spaces, space, landscapes, emotional landscapes, spiritual landscapes, space. Space is a great word. Space is a great thing. How is space related to time? And the day after the Skywalker is the wizard, telling us about timelessness. Oy. So, we can be busy evolving our own personal selves. We can be busy evolving. We're always part of the collective. I recommend today we take a love bath. And by that I mean to take 5 to 10 to 30 or so minutes, take the whole day if you can, and truly appreciate something with all your heart, with all your being. In my case right now, it's the birds singing and this incredible lush greenery around me. That it's just that everywhere I look, there's a bush or a tree or something. It is incredible. I am gobsmacked. I mean, it's like you gotta keep the stuff off the places. You gotta keep nature out actively, otherwise she'll go everywhere. It's like she's reaching out for us. I once stood in the street some years ago, also in Berlin, and I suddenly had this realization that the trees and the buildings are having a love affair. That they are just having a love affair with each other. I can't explain it. It was the most obvious. I could just tune into it and was like, oh my God. Because I look at the trees and I used to think, like, you poor sods, man. You're sitting in the city, surrounded by car fumes, noise, concrete. I mean, narrow streets. What the fuck? Are you hating your life? I was really not very positively tuned. And then they're like, are you kidding us? We have spent aeons in the forest. We have walked into your cities and we're just like excited to be here. You guys are moving faster like ants. You are driving, you come and you go. Now we see you, now we don't. You talk. We don't know what you're doing, talking, making this noise. You sing, you laugh, you play, you raise children. They grow up and they have children and they grow up. Some of them stay in the same street. We witness generations come and go. We see buildings shapeshift, and we stand here at night and we talk to your sleeping souls, and we watch your car's tires deflate. We just love this story, man. This is like going to what you do in the cinema, we do in the city. I mean, you guys are not here for very long, so we are. And we are truly enjoying your presence. You are a very strange species. You build buildings and you put yourself into boxes. It's like, it's fun. So you put flowers on your balconies. You make the world beautiful. Most of you love us. Do you realize how amazing it is to be a city tree and to be loved by you? It's just beautiful. When we're in the forest, occasionally a human comes along and like, maybe they love us, maybe they're just busy thinking. It's nice, it's fun. But in the city, like, oh, you know how many times someone comes past and says, oh my God, look at these trees, look at this alley, look at this spring, look at everything coming to blossom. That happens all the time. We love it. And it makes us want to be greener for you. It makes us want to be more beautiful for you. It makes us want to be just like, we know what it's like to be a tree because of you. Because of you. And we have a love affair with you guys. It's amazing. There you go. Message from the tree. It's take a love bath. Have a moment. Make love to a tree if you want to. Mentally, emotionally. Have a love bath. Appreciate, I don't know, whatever you're listening to, or whatever your own body, or the beauty of your hands, the beauty of your feet, the beauty of your skin. Don't judge it. Just, it covers you. It houses you. Your body is the house of your soul, or an expression of your soul. I'm looking at something thinking, that is not an expression of my soul. Thank you very much. What do you think you're doing? That's an expression of something gone wrong somewhere. That's my judgment. So now, can I take a love bath with my judgment? Absolutely no ways. Fuck off. Not fun. Goosebumps. But truly, love bathing like this expands your capillaries or whatever blood vessel things we have in there. It makes the blood flow. It makes the lymph flow. It makes emotion flow. It opens the heart. It opens the mind. It synchronizes us. Love baths synchronize us. Take them as often as you can. Oh, there is a busy bird up in that tree. My word. Did you know that city birds, there's a decibel number. They have come to sing a lot louder than forest birds because they have to outsing all this noise. I just love them. Like they are here with us. Like they could all be in some forest somewhere thinking, oh, who needs all this human bullshit and the stink and the noise? No, they're here. They're not bothered. They're like you watch the birds flying through the streets and you're like, oh my god, you're just having a blast. You can just ravens or crows. They're like the bigger kind of birds in city life. You get some birds of prey, but yeah, they're more rare. And then you get all the little small whatevers. But these ravens, they slide. They're like surfing the air between the trees, and they're so smart. And they watch us, and they know us, and like I think, oh, can we have a conversation? And they're like, you are far too impatient. You sit there for 30 seconds. You think I'm going to talk to you while you cannot even hold a focus for 10? You hold your focus for 10 minutes silently. Maybe I'll consider having a conversation with you. You are far too young and semi-retarded still in your development for me to bother talking with you. Your busy mind thinking you've got something to say. It's all just nonsense. I mean, honestly, you're so enamored with your mind. Oh, lol. Okay. Yes, sir. You're right, sir. Anyway, I wish us a beautiful cosmic. What is the cosmic tone? And I didn't speak about the yellow star. I said I was going to combine both. The art, I have to combine both, so I can't put the phone down yet. How are we? Half an hour. Oh, shit. Oops. I gotta come back later. I'm back. How long was I gone? I wanted to say something about this yellow star on tone 12 in this evolution of ours that we meet on tone 12. On 11 blue hand, we release, we liberate ourselves, we release ourselves. There's healing, and we gotta find for ourselves, I suppose, this combination between. I always find this very interesting because blue hand, red earth, they are antipodal positions, furthest away from each other, in each other's kin. And yet it's the releasing position always on tone 11. Release, liberate, dissolve. Dissolve what? Liberate what from what? Healing, knowing, accomplishing. That is our liberation for our evolution. I don't know, that says it all, and it seems to say nothing at all. I'm confused. But tone 12, cooperative, is when we come together, cooperate, not corporate, cooperate, universalize, dedicate. It's a tone where we come together, we share our experiences, we share it with ourselves, our experiences share themselves with themselves. It's like putting all the spices and ingredients into a cooking scenario and creating a meal. This is the meal being now put together. What is it after the journey, after this wave spell being just one of many, many, many wave spells? So on tone 12, the whole collective experience comes together. merges, shares, in liberated, in freedom, in this is what's going to be with us for a while now, until we come for 260 days possibly. We've set the tone. Every wave comes around again in 250 or so days. Yeah. So we're on. We've got the star, yellow star, harmony, beauty, order. Not order, yellow star. Well, the antipodes order is white mirror, so you have to always take all of that in consideration. I'm skimping a little bit on that, since I'm not here to teach it. But like the beauty, the other order, the magnitude, is that the right word? The artists we are, the artists that our life is, the art that our healing is. The art of our state of being, our state of mind, we don't have to judge it good or bad. We have the star, and the star to me is also like cells coming together forming organ systems, stars coming together forming solar systems, galaxies, universes. Things come together to form something new. Individuals come together to form families, to form groups, to form tribes, to form communities. And community is extremely important. And many of us, maybe, I don't know, in my experience, many of us are quite burned by community because people we've trusted have really stabbed us in the back massively in other lifetimes. And community can be extremely toxic if it's filled with jealousy, envy, shit like that, really. It's like you can't mind your own business because someone's always watching, and they don't have your best interest at heart, nor do they have their own best interest at heart. Seemingly they have their own best interest at heart, but anyone who kind of, like, no, they don't. They don't understand even what that means. So there's a lot of pros and cons to community, but ideally we're pro ourselves. We're evolving into the pros to understand how can we be an individual. We are in the individuation process always, somehow becoming more and more individualized. At least the Western way of life is really underlining and evolving that, and we're doing a lot of that at the cost of community. But it will take us to a point where we realize, but we can't do without community. And then we form new communities. A lot of families are dissolving, in terms of a lot of us are no longer having children. A lot of us are no longer in touch or good, well adjusted into our family structures. Larger families are in the Western world often dissolving. And in a way, one can say that's a pity, but one can also say, that's just a natural way of it. Because if you're not resonating with each other, why just because you're blood family, you will form other family, you will form your soul family, you'll find your soul family on the planet and be in a tribe with them. It's like, it's just the same. Blood is not necessarily thicker than water. But anyway, within ourselves, that's where it starts and ends. And to the degree that I'm harmonious with myself, I can be harmonious with my environment. I can give up myself for the community, not develop because I need to be a member of a community. So I may not have the option to take my own personal journey, because then the community won't function without me. So these are human challenges we face. And to find the peace within the challenges, to find the peace within the options we can have and make, and the options we don't have and can't make, or the choices we can't make, and choices we would like to make. And what free will? What does that mean? Is the free will I can push for my choices, or is the free will I can choose to be at peace with the choices that are being made for me? I can totally thrive in an environment or in a set of life circumstances that I would assume I did not consciously choose. However, the choices have been made, whatever gets me here and keeps me here, but I can always choose how I feel. And I can choose the frequency within which I ride through this life. Even if I don't choose the circumstances, I may not choose the job, I may not even choose the man or a woman I'm married to that may be chosen for me. I may not be able to choose where I live, who my community is. I may not choose what I do with my free time. I may be living in a place where I can't even choose to leave the house by myself. That may not be an option. I may have to be accompanied, blah, blah, blah. You know, we limitation, there are very few of us on the planet are truly very much free. But to understand or to find, even within the limitation, a sense of freedom. What can I choose? What can I be free in? How can I feel really good? And do I need something on the outside to create a good feeling? Or can I conjure that on the inside? And to me, that would be the art. To feel good, no matter what the circumstances are. To turn on the inner light, to enlighten ourselves, even if we don't have a lot of choice in external terms. We always probably have a lot of choice internally, even though we sometimes don't feel that we have that choice. Many of us believe we can't choose how we feel. We can't choose our state of health. It's open for debate. But according to your belief, it is done unto you. So if that's what we believe, that's what we're going to experience. And then some of us believe, yeah, but I cannot change my beliefs. I cannot change if I believe this is true, then I can't change it because that's the truth. That's a universal truth. That's tone 12 for you. So might check out the wave spell of this. I mean, yesterday, on this crystal star, we had the crystal mirror in the antipod position, which means we have the wave spell that comes out of the wave spell of the blue hand. Beautiful. This elegance. I love this elegance of the system. The liberating blue hand. We also have the wave spell of that blue, but that can't. Yeah, we have the wave spell of that blue hand running parallel. Tatiana, how come you never really looked into that deeper? Oh, that's a real aha for me right now. I'm a bit pressed for time to go deep into that, but I gotta sink my teeth into that. The wave spell of the antipod always runs with us, and then they switch position on tone 11 and liberate each other. So the antipodal position is the liberator. Beautiful. So in that blue hand wave spell, tone 12 is the white mirror. Endlessness, order. Endlessness reflect order. Why? Somehow we have truth. The reflection of truth, and who makes a choice? Where's the mirror in the wave spell of the yellow human? Because the yellow human represents free will, wisdom, the ability to influence. So our choice making, our influence. So there's yellow on magnet, yellow on 5, that's the warrior. Then it's, oh boy, then it's the earth, and then it's the mirror, so it's resonant, which means it's the center position. There are two kinds of centers in a wave, of tone 5 and tone 7. But the resonant tone, that's your choice, is the truth you will resonate on. And that is determining the resonance. And sometimes you can't change the resonance because it's resonating your truth. You have to change a belief system to change that resonance, to change that frequency. But yellow human tells us we have free will. We can choose to change certain things for sure. And changing a belief system is an option. If we don't acknowledge that option, or we don't know how to change it, that's another matter. but in principle it is. So in the synchronicity evolution whisper of the red earth, this universalizing tone 12, in the wave spell of the blue hand, the white mirror, the antipode of the star, order, truth, reflection, universal order. It may be universal for all humans. It may just be universal for you. We gotta look there. Like, what are we doing? Where is our power? What is being reflected back to us? Is my power reflected back to me? Is my beauty reflected back to me? Am I choosing the reflection? If I look out at the world, I can see everything. I see every color in the rainbow. I see the good, the bad, and the ugly. What am I choosing to focus on? When I choose to focus on the absolute magnificence of the miracles of this beautiful earth, this beauty of humanity, it doesn't mean I'm not seeing the crap. Well, I do. But I just don't focus on it because, like, yeah, it's there, so what? It's part of this. I can't do anything about it, and what I can do about it, I am doing about it. I just don't. It's my lifetime. It's my life energy. I don't focus willingly on stuff that's going to make me maybe upset or make me lose faith or make me dim my own light. I just add my light to light, and 2 plus 2 is 20,000 in this case. We're not talking 2 plus 2 is 4. And even if we're talking 2 plus 2 is 4, 4 is more than 2 twos. The sum is more than the total is more than the sum of its parts, whatever that thing is. It's like, that's my choice. But that's not, I wouldn't say everybody has to make that choice. Everybody makes the choices they make. And some of us believe we make the world a better place by focusing on the bad stuff and feeling bad. We're doing something about it. Maybe we're not, but we maybe don't realize it. Maybe we are doing something about it by looking at it. Whatever. We get to choose our belief systems. We get to choose our paradigms. And whatever, if we evolve to the place where we choose. I think choosing is part of evolution. There's no human in this way as well. Interestingly enough. We've had the yellow human wave spell already. I think so. I'm not sure. We're going into the wave spell of the white dog. Love, loyalty, heart. And to me, I would really advocate that. The love and the loyalty towards our humanity, towards our evolution. And it is no good, I want to say, to just focus in on the crap and condemn us in like, look at us, we're just a failure. No, we're not. We're learning. We are young, and shit like plastics hasn't been on the planet for very long. The fact that we're just overwhelmed by our own creation doesn't mean we're not going to clean up the mess. It really doesn't mean that. And just because we're not seeing the cleanup happening as fast as we think it should happen, or as universally as it should, and it could happen, it doesn't mean it won't. And it doesn't mean we're going to kill ourselves on it. And if we do, well, then so be it. We'll come back. We will reincarnate. There are plenty of other earths and places and dimensions with earths and places and playgrounds. It's to assume the limited view is the only view. It's, well, an option. So I think we got this. I think we live on an amazing, magnificent planet, and I genuinely believe there are multiverses, so there are countless amazing, beautiful planets, all just slightly different. A lot of slightly different becomes a lot of very different eventually. So we can just, you're here now. You, whoever you are, I, whoever I am, whatever this I am is here now. So might as well enjoy the here now, because this is a manifestation of the divine in this form, in this shape, and I'm going to ride the hell out of this life. with every breath, with every intention that I set, I'm going to live this thing, and I love it, with all of its ups and downs and its terrible things that I can't love, and its terrible things that I can love. Like to learn to love. I once heard a beautiful thing from, I don't know, whatever that was, but it was like a hypothesis or some hypothetical statement, like, or maybe it was a channeling. We, the blah de blah race from blah de blah planet blah de blah, come to Earth because we are fascinated by one thing that you have that we don't. You can love. The ability to love. We don't understand it. And we watch you. We want to become you. We want to be you for a time so that we can experience this thing that you call love, because it does a lot for you. It drives you nuts. It drives you to suicide. It drives you to the height of experience that you are individually and collectively capable of. This love thing, what the is that? Like, we don't get it. What the heck is that? We are drawn to you because of your ability to love. The fact that you can also hate is part of love, like whatever. We're not really very interested, but it's also fascinating, because if you can go so hard into love and then you can go so hard into hate, what on earth is going on with humanity? What are you all about that you do this weird, 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 weird stuff to yourselves? To yourselves. I mean, if you ever got it that you do it to someone else, which we also don't get, but that you do it to yourselves. Like, what is up with that? We can't conceive, we cannot say what's wrong with that, because we don't have a notion of anything wrong. We don't understand right or wrong. We don't. But you do. And that's fascinating. Fascinating. So I think we got a few things going for ourselves here. And the privilege of being human, with this ability to experience things as a human. When we're sitting here thinking like, oh my God, I want to be spirit, I want to be this, I want to be that, or even to be human and to think, I don't want to be human, I hate being human. I mean, that's utterly fascinating. Anybody who can't be human or hasn't been or whatever would want to become human just to experience what is it like to hate yourself. What is it like to not want to be who you are? What is that like? Inconceivable. Inconceivable. Ask a tree. They don't even understand the question. That's why half of the time we can't talk to them, because like they don't get us. They can't understand. What the fuck are you saying? It doesn't make any sense. Like what? Yeah, but that makes sense. Like, no, it doesn't. What are you saying? I'm saying all right, go talk to another person who understands you. Yeah. And then you watch that conversation. It's like us looking at conversations between AI and AI. Like, we're like, they're losing us. Yeah, it's another kind of intelligence. Excuse me. Or them. Anyway, flow. Cosmic flow. Cosmic flow. Live and let live. Find your own flow. And then trust that that'll not be, I mean, I don't know. I don't live in a community that I'm not part of any community in a sense that I'm thinking right now. Of course I am, but the community and the communities that I am a part of, in some way, they're very, very loosely structured. They're very, very tolerant, loose. Everybody in there does what they do. And whenever we feel like it, someone says, hey, let's get together. And then whoever has time to, hey, yeah, let's do. Actually, I have to get a get-together going with my family. It hasn't happened in a long time. So, like, yeah, I think I'm done. Harmony, evolution, community, individuality, and flow, cosmic flow. I wish us a beautiful day. Oof, I think this is an hour and a half. This is a long one. Who cares? I had fun. Okay. Oh, it's just a beautiful day. If you made it till here, well, respect or whatever. I don't think anybody does. I see like views 1, 2, 3, 4, whatever. It's like nobody watches to the end. I don't think so. And if you do, I hope you have some fun. Let's have a gorgeous day, and God willing, I'll be back tomorrow. Bye.